two volcanoes, one sweeping arc of red. They haven't erupted in over 1,000 years, so what is that giant glowing bridge connecting them in the sky? That red arch isn't some trick of light pollution or a long-exposure color cast. It's a real structure, a shell of glowing hydrogen gas so enormous that if you could see it with the naked eye, it would stretch wider than 40 full moons lined up side by side. Astronomers call it Barnard's Loop, and it encircles most of the constellation Orion. The question nobody has fully settled: what blew it into that perfect arc in the first place? Just left of center in the image, nested inside that loop, look at the bright tangle of pink and blue just above the left peak. That's the Orion Nebula, about 1,300 light-years away, and one of the most active star nurseries we know of. Young, hot stars inside it are pouring out ultraviolet radiation, and some astronomers think a chain of those stars, aging and exploding as supernovae over millions of years, is exactly what inflated Barnard's Loop into the bubble it is today. You're looking at a crime scene, and the suspects are still glowing. Now look to the right. That single warm orange-red point is Betelgeuse, the red supergiant sitting on Orion's shoulder. It's about 700 light-years closer to us than the Orion Nebula, which means it's actually in the foreground of this whole scene. And Betelgeuse is itself expected to explode as a supernova someday, possibly adding a new blast to whatever built Barnard's Loop. Meanwhile, up in the upper right corner, that compact red circle is the Rosette Nebula, another stellar nursery about 5,000 light-years out. 3 different distances, 3 different stories, all stacked into the same patch of sky. And below all of that, 2 volcanoes that haven't spoken volcanically in over 1,000 years. In local Aymara tradition, Parinacota and Pomerape are a prince and princess bound by a forbidden love. They're not connected underground, no shared magma chamber that we know of. But on one night in mid-April, from one specific spot in Bolivia, a photographer named Gonzalo Lacerna framed them so that Barnard's Loop arcs perfectly between their summits, a connection that exists only if you're standing in exactly the right place. 3 layers of story in a single frame, a mythology that's thousands of years old, volcanoes quiet for 1,000 years, and a gas bubble that took maybe 2 million years to inflate. The photographer just had to show up at the right coordinates on the right night. Makes you wonder how many alignments like this happen with nobody there to see them. We'll be here tomorrow with whatever the data shows next. Subscribe so you don't have to remember to come back.